Investing is the best step that millennials take to saving money. According to Bursa Efek Indonesia, millennials is on the first place in the overall number of investors. And for some millennials who want to start invest, they are confused which invest that they need to choose. So here's the list of the investation instrument that become popular in millennials generation according to IDX channel. Probably gold is the invest instrument that considered as an old way, but the youth is now choose gold because it is a long-term investation that considered safe and have minimum risk. To get the benefit of gold, the investors need to be patient because the price of gold will have a significant increase between 5 until 10 years. Term deposit is a product that offered by the bank with fixed interest rates. The time period for deposit is generally around 3 months until 1 year. Usually, the interest rate that offered by the bank is around 3 until 3.15%, and maybe this profit is not that big. However, this is the best option for the beginners. Bonds are debt securities that issued by government to obtain funding. The bond issuer will repay all notes that issued at maturity and with certain coupon rate over the term of the bond. To invest in bonds, the investor needs to prepare minimum amount. One of the most popular bond is government bond that includes sukuk retail, obligasi negara retail, sukuk tabungan, and saving bond retail. If you're interested to buy government bonds, you need to prepare minimum 1 million rupiah. One instrument of investment that the millennials can choose is equity fund. The investment includes 80% of assets in the form of equity securities. This type of investment have high risk, but it is equal to the benefit that the investor gonna get. Money market fund considered as the most easy investment type for millennials. As a millennials who have busy life that has no time to monitor the development of the assets constantly. So this is the perfect investment for them, because the investment manager will do duty for them and mutual fund has low risk that equal with the benefit that they got.
So talking about investment, what kind of investment type that you're having, Yasha?
I still have, I have individual stocks, but mostly I have mutual funds actually.
Mutual fund?
Yes.
You see mutual fund as still profitable investment means?
At the moment, I'm not so sure, but I'm keeping it for the long run.
Right.
Because,
okay.
yeah, I think the market is still going up and down. It's quite volatile, and I think it's the safest one because I don't want to worry too much. You know, I don't want to look at the stock market like, oh wow, look at this.
And got heart attack that often, right?
Yeah, and then get very, I don't know. I think that the FOMO is strong.
Right.
The fear of missing out, in the market is very strong.
But what about the traditional investment means, such as gold or land or maybe house?
This is a consultation. Are you opening a consultation right now?
No, I'm just asking.
It sounds like that.
Because, because you're wealthy.
I don't know where you got that from, but no, I think here's the thing. I do have some gold investments, which I actually bought using an app through Pegadaian.
Oh, I do the same thing. Yeah, and last year or last 2 years, the price of gold was 500,000. And today it's 1 million per gram, right? And it is predicted that next year the price will soar to 1.5 million. But who knows? And who can predict, right? But that's just a calculation or prediction. But hopefully it will materialize.
Yeah, but property, property I think is is an investment instrument that is more familiar to the baby boomers, right? Baby boomers always talk about always invest in property.
I know, but in 2023, it is advised that you not put your money in a unliquid form of investment, right?
Yeah.
And property is so unliquid because you have to sell it first.
Yes, and we currently, I think in Indonesia, we have a couple of cases that are making the headlines right now. But we are not going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about investments using apps, right, Sor?
Exactly, right. And to talk more about investment trends among millennials through apps, you're now connected with Kevin Hendrawan, the CEO and founder of Saham Rakyat, an application that facilitates access for all people to invest in stocks. So, Kevin, how are you doing, Kevin?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Hopefully you can hear me
Yes,
very clear, right?
we can hear you clearly. So, Kevin, I told Yasha that you were the winner of Element back then in the days. Now you become a financial
long time
expert
ago.
and also a consultant and a founder of this Saham Rakyat app, right? So, first things first, how much capital does it take to be able to invest in stocks, according to you?
Oh, nowadays, I mean, most of investment app, they really support the millennials and the young community. So they started. There's no minimum. Even 10,000 rupiah you can do.
Oh, okay.
It's very easy nowadays.
Yeah.
So now investment become really popular among millennials and Gen Z.
Yeah.
In fact, almost 60% of people in the stock market right now are millennials and Gen Z.
Right. Hey, Kevin. All right. So before we go to the next question, I have a question. You know, or this is a more of a definition. When we were talking about investment, are we talking about investment as in long term? Are we talking about trading? Because I think, you know, when we talk about millennials investing, you know, I think ever since the pandemic as well, you know, a lot of people have been, you know, buying a lot of stocks, and then I guess there's a lot of disappointments as well because of some stocks have so much expectation and they buy, but then like, oh wow, you know, especially when you're talking about tech stocks, people go to the apps and, you know, do really bad reviews.
And especially when reality hits and you buy stock because of FOMO.
Yes, so when we're talking about FOMO, this is all mostly trading, isn't it, Kevin?
Right. So when we're talking about investment, I mean, I'm more into stock investment. There are two types of people. There are two. I would call it a religion in the stock market. Those who are investing for a long term, maybe 5 to 10 years, and then there are those who actually more into stock trading. They try to make a living out of doing, you know, stock trading every day. So it can be both. But now when we're talking about Gen Z and millennials, they want the risk. They want something fast. So stock trading is more popular right now.
And the apps actually make it easier for them to trade, right? I mean, I guess back in the days, you know, again, we talk about back in the days, Rory. Back in the days, when you want to do stock trading, you got to sit in a place that's something securitas.
Exactly.
And you sit in front of a computer and you see a lot of, you know, numbers moving.
Or you would call your agent or your, what do you call it, consultant to buy some stocks, right?
Oh, maybe that's you, Rory, because you're wealthy.
Amen for that, Yasha, amen for that. But, you know, talking about investment, so there are two religions, as Kevin said. One that is investing the money for the long term, value investor, and trader, right? Investing for day-to-day trading activities. But how does investing in stocks through apps works? For example, through Saham Rakyat. Can you tell us more about it, Kevin?
Right. So in Saham Rakyat, because we focus on the Gen Z and millennials and also the newcomer in the stock market, we try to build the app as simple as possible. Because what we learned from years of experience, Indonesian people, they want something simple. They want to try first, then they want to learn. But actually, the best way would be learn first and then try. But you know, most of Indonesian, they want to try, experience, and then see if they like it, and then they learn. So we designed the application to support those needs. So we try to make trading app as simple as possible by giving them free education and also a lot of recommendation by our analysts. So when you imagine stock market, it's.
Oh, sorry, Kevin. Sorry if I mentioned about your competitors, but this is not a new in you know, today's environment. Like we've got, for example, StockBit, we've got Ajaib, and we've got you know, trading apps or investment apps produced by major banks. What sets Saham Rakyat apart from the rest?
Okay, first is because we develop our own IT system. So our application is really customizable to the needs of our users. That's one thing, because most of the app, they try to be as complete as possible, while Saham Rakyat, we're trying to be as simple as possible. That's two different goals right there.
As simple as possible for which religion, Kevin? I'm going to ask you that. Is this for traders or is this for investors?
For traders. Because most of the millennials, they don't want to wait for even 1 year. They want to make profit as fast as possible. So we try to facilitate that using the safest way possible. Because most of Indonesian right now, they don't think about the risk. They just want to imagine the profit, and that is very dangerous, actually.
That is very dangerous.
Do
indeed.
you give education to the users of the app to take, less risk, in terms of, perhaps maybe in volume? Of course, Saham Rakyat is a profit-making company, right? Of course, you would encourage, more purchase, or more transactions. But how is it that you make sure that people are always aware of the risk of losing money?
Yeah. So we provide free education 3 times a week. And you were right. I mean, we profit from the transaction. But if we don't focus on the profit of the users, they will not trade anymore. I mean, transaction should not be the point or the first focus of our business. It should be the profit of each user. So when we're talking about recommendation or education, we always give or point out the safety feature first and then the stock trading.
Yeah, I think that is a valid answer because Kevin himself is actually an educator in financial literacy and stocks and investment through your YouTube channel, right? And you, this is my assumption, you're trying to channel your insights, your knowledge to your larger audience through creating this app. But, talking about safety, because investment is not only about loss and profit, but also about safety. Is it safe to invest through apps? And what if the company behind the apps shuts down its operation in Indonesia? What happens to our money?
Okay, this is a very nice question, actually. And a lot of people in Indonesia, when they open an account, they don't ask about this question. Well, this should be the number one question. The safety feature should be the number one. So when you are a securitas or securities and listed by OJK, actually there are safety features that all of us must follow. First, when we open account in for example, Saham Rakyat, then we will connect our bank account to BCA or BRI investment account. We call it rekening RDN. So when we top up money, for example, my name is Kevin. When I open a Saham Rakyat account, then I will make another BCA or BRI investment account. So at the time we transfer our money, by OJK rules, we are not allowed to transfer to the company, but we are transferring the money to BRI or BCA account under my own name. So the investment company cannot take your money. That's the first rule. And the second one, when you buy the stock, actually the stock goes to the OJK officials, the company called KSE, Kustodian Sentra Efek Indonesia. That's where the Saham storage is. So actually,
KSE,
as a trading app, KSEI, yes.
Okay.
So us as the company, we're not allowed to hold the money, nor the Saham, nor the stock. So for example, Saham Rakyat is no longer around, then your money is safely in your bank account, and the stock or the Saham is safely at KSEI.
Okay.
So that's how the system works.
Because the security is only a means for you to buy the stock, right? And the stock is produced by the companies listed on the stock market.
Correct. So we are only in the middle. We are the broker.
Right.
Yeah. So how does an app become, I don't know, chosen by the customers? Is it based on the UI, UX, and the customer experience? What is it that you sell? What is it that you try to do best? Outdo the competition?
Or maybe because of the branding, using Korean singers, Korean movie players.
Like Kevin, maybe?
Well, a lot of ways to market the product, but based on the OJK rules, we cannot make our own like transaction system. We need to follow the rules. So you were right about the UI, UX, and the marketing. Our focus is to really deliver the simplest way of trading stock. Because even with such simplicity, not everyone want to learn how to really make profit in the stock market. Mostly they just want to follow their friends because FOMO is really strong in the millennials and Gen Z.
Right.
And that is very dangerous.
So, Kevin, now I'd like to ask you about your advice on investing, especially for beginners. Your advice to, invest in blue chip stocks, or like Loke Hong often said that we better invest in Mercedes-Benz stock with Bajaj price, with tricycle price, right? But according to you, which stock that is suitable, or which type of stock that is suitable for beginners?
All right. So I will say this as a practitioner point of view, not as a financial expert. But then what I'm going to say is, it depends on each individual. Some people, they like risk so much that they want to take risks. They don't want to wait. So if that is the case, then try to learn and analyze and try to understand the business of the company first before you buy the company, before you buy the company shares. That will help a lot. So don't gamble in the stock market, but try to understand the business before you invest. I think that's the best advice for everyone.
All right. So, but talking about which stock, do you prefer in, banking sector, or as the price of coal now is on the rise, or maybe in mining sectors? Which one do you prefer for next year, for example?
If you're asking me, I'm a stock trader. So whichever gives me the profit, then I will buy and sell. And sometimes within one day, I can buy and sell so many stocks.
Okay.
Because I do trading for a living. So, that's a tough question for me.
All right. Hey, Kevin, thank you so much for answering some of our questions. I think we're asking some tough questions to Kevin today.
Exactly. Maybe too tough for this young CEO and founder.
No, it's too tough for end of the year.
For end of the year.
For holiday mode.
Right. But Kevin, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for your creation, of course, and your education efforts.